What's good, everybody? It is Tuesday, April 26th. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not close. Boy, do we have a busy day at the brand today. First and foremost, little housekeeping. A good Monday. Great way to start the week. 5-2 in our straight picks, including that little Rockies-Phillies over 8.5 that your boy gave out. How about Johnny B? Exactly what he said was going to happen yesterday on the Early Edge in that Giants one-off game is exactly how it played out. 2-2, ninth. Brewers didn't have their relievers to use. Giants hit a 2-run home run. That's why we do this show, to educate and to entertain. But on such a big day, what do I do? Well, I bring in three of the biggest stars that we have at the Early Edge that I have at my disposal. Look at this beautiful group of people. First and foremost, he's an OG, and when he talks, damn it, you better listen. Live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Squared. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see the crew here. I love that we got Martin on the show, got Mikey B on the show today. It's going to be a fun one. I'm sweating some tennis already, but I got a nice little parlay for you here today.
See, I love it when you're sweating some already, because when you're sweating something, I don't care if it's tennis, Formula One, man, you are locked and loaded at 10 a.m. Eastern, and that's the M Squared that I'm here for. Now, you mentioned the guru, and when we have Champions League, we got to have the guru on live from just south of London, England. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin W. Green. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Thank you for having me back on the show. Yeah, as you mentioned, we have a huge game tonight. Well, it's going to be in the afternoon in the United States. Manchester City, one of the best teams in the world, taking on Real Madrid, the most successful team in Champions League history. They're in the semi-finals. It's a huge game, a wealth of world-class players on the pitch. CBS, Paramount Plus, you can watch it all unfold, and it's going to be beautiful.
World-class players needs a world-class handicapper to make the picks today. That's exactly what we have here on the show. Now, the NBA playoffs have been good, maybe a little bit unexpected, but man, I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm so happy that Mikey B is back on the show today. Mike Barner, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, Mike was talking about a sweat he's already got this morning. One guy that's not sweating is Ben Simmons. Now he doesn't have to worry about whether or not he's going to play anymore. The Nets are out. First elimination of the playoffs. So it should be fun. 3 more games tonight.
Before May 1st, if I would have told you 5 months ago that Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James would all be done before May 1st, Mikey, what would you have said to me?
I would have said you were crazy, but that couch is getting a little crowded over at LeBron's house. They're all sitting over there. AD sitting next to him.
We're just stacking the tweets from these guys going, oh, I hate the fact that I have to watch these playoffs from home. Well, maybe you can put together a team like that. Put together an actual team like what we do here at the Early Edge. So let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And when I have so many stars at my disposal, where do we start? Well, when I look down, I go, why don't we start from something that happened last night? And Mike Barner, the floor is going to be yours. This is a disturbing trend as we move forward.
Yeah, the one downside of these playoffs has been so many injuries. Another one last night, Donovan Mitchell went down late in Game 5 against the Mavericks. The Jazz lost. He's got a hamstring injury, so his status moving forward is in doubt. He joins a long list of injured players: Devin Booker, Chris Middleton, Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet. They've all been injured during these playoffs. We also had the Luka Doncic injury that prevented him from missing the first few games there for the Mavericks. It's been pretty ugly. If Mitchell can't play, the Jazz are pretty much done. They might be done even if he does play with how good the Mavericks have been looking. The Bucks should still dispatch the Bulls even with Middleton out, but now they have to face the Celtics in the second round. That's going to be rough if Middleton can't play. The Suns look to be an easy advance over the Pelicans. Now they're in a fight with Booker out, so it's sad that the time that's the most exciting in the NBA, we're missing a lot of our stars, but injuries are a part of the game, and that's what a lot of teams are having to deal with right now.
That's exactly right. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be that next guy up to get your team a little bit further? Congratulations. Tip of the cap to the Toronto Raptors last night, not just laying down and winning in Philadelphia. That was a big win. Now they got to go back to Toronto. Mikey, thank you very much. Now, baseball is back. And even I, as the host of the show, can learn. And I can learn from my man M Squared. The other day, he said, hey, the weather is not conducive to that over. And that's what we're all about. We don't always agree. And I learned my lesson the hard way. But we're back at it again today. Mikey, give us a little update.
Yeah, I got a few weather spots to look at today. Most important is going to be the Miami-Washington game. I expect them to delay the start of the game and then play all the way through. But there's a chance that they try to start on time, have a delay. But we're looking at minus 30% in terms of overall home run production, minus 15% in overall run scoring, minus 10% in San Francisco, Oakland. Huge sample size of games here. It's a very common night out there. And then two other spots that have really good air densities for hitting overall. It's going to be the Atlanta Braves. It's interesting because we have two great pitchers on the mound in this matchup, but the hitting conditions are ideal for this time of year in Atlanta tonight. And then out west, LA Angels, Cleveland Guardians should be a good little spot for some early game hitting. The weather definitely falls off as the sun begins to set out there on the West Coast, but early innings, look for the Cleveland Indians to jump out and maybe have some offensive power early in this game.
So perhaps maybe a first 5 over would be the play in that game if somebody so chose. By the way, I keep a sweatshirt. I keep a blanket in my car for my kids' games, because when that sun goes down out here on the West Coast, it goes from 75 down to 55 in a hurry. Mikey, thank you very much. Now, I don't think I can overhype this game. I don't think that I can tell you how important this game is to us here in the CBS family. When we got the rights to the Champions League, it was a big, big deal for days like today, especially when history can be made. Martin W. Green, what am I talking about?
Coach, you are talking about Manchester City head coach Pep Guardiola, who is aiming to become the first manager in history to knock Real Madrid out of the Champions League 3 times. He achieved that feat first when he was the Barcelona manager back in 2011. That was the all-conquering Barcelona team led by Lionel Messi and Andres Iniesta. His Manchester City team also knocked Real Madrid out of this competition in 2020, 2 years ago. No manager has ever beaten Real Madrid in this competition 3 times before. As I mentioned, they're the most successful team in Champions League history. But Pep Guardiola is just the arch enemy to Madridistas. He's the former captain of Barcelona, the former manager of Barcelona. They absolutely hate him, and they will be cheering him in Barcelona if he manages to knock Real Madrid out once again. I think they could be more than capable of doing so. If you look at the betting lines with Caesars, they're priced at just minus 275 to qualify for the Champions League final at Real Madrid's expense. As I mentioned, 2 years ago, they beat Real Madrid home and away. 2-1 at home, 2-1 away. They won 4-2 on aggregate. Real Madrid have not really improved since that defeat to Manchester City. Some of their best players are now the wrong side of 30. I think they may lack the energy to cope with Man City's relentless passing, the tempo that they play with. They just press. They're just a very, very energetic, high-tempo team. I think they are going to find it difficult today in Manchester, but it's going to be a terrific game. Lots and lots of world-class players on the pitch. Manchester City are the heavy favourites. They have to be very careful about Karim Benzema. He's an excellent player, but yeah, all eyes are going to be on Pep Guardiola on the sidelines, and just you won't be able to take your eyes off the action going on, because it's going to be a great, great game.
There are a lot of people that tweet at me all the time, say, I'm really not into soccer betting yet. I'm trying to get into it. If you're on the fringe, if you're trying to say, would I enjoy it? I would encourage you to do this. Listen to my man, Martin W. Green. Go to SportsLine, read their articles, and watch the game today. And feel the emotion, the excitement, and the skill level from these two teams, especially Man City. They are a blast to watch. A quick tip of the cap to Allison in the chat. She finally learned how to turn on the notifications. Allison, well done. Well done. Now you don't miss one single second of our content. Now, we got to get to our picks for the day because I'm excited. But before that, we got to take a little break here on The Early Edge. And we are back. It is that time. It is that time. And I said to myself, as we were putting the show together today, I said we would not be doing the fans at home justice if we didn't have all 3 NBA games in the show tonight. So from the site, Heat -6.5 over the Hawks, 7 p.m. Eastern time. This series ends tonight. It doesn't matter if Kyle Lowry's playing or not. All 3 of the Heat's wins in this series have been by at least 10 points. The Hawks on the road this season against the spread, a paltry 22%. Easy Heat 6.5. Then Grizzlies, they're coming back home, and they're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready. They're only laying 6. Minnesota is 1-6 against the spread in Memphis over its last 7. Easy, take the Grizz. Now, late game, there's been a lot of points. The Pelicans figured out very early in game 1. If they can speed up the pace and beat the Suns back on their defense, then they have some easy buckets. What does that translate into? Over 215.5. And this is a late game tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Now, did I mention the Champions League is pretty big for us? Yes. Don't forget to catch the Champions League semifinals today on Paramount Plus, featuring Man City against Real Madrid. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. Eastern time. But I'm going to make you wait just a second for Martin W. Green's pick, because this show is all about respect. And when he's on the show, this man gets to go first, because I love getting to do this so much. So on a Tuesday morning, when we've got baseball, sweat, and tennis, we got a little bit of hockey, we got it all. But it all comes back to the original. M squared. You know the drill, son. Oh, it feels good. It feels good. It feels good. Give it to me.
All right, Coach. No baseball on the show today, but I got several plays up on SportsLine. Here I'm rolling with an NBA parlay. We're taking the Heat on the money line, the Grizzlies on the money line, and the Pelicans plus 14.5 on the alternate line. Pair all those together, plus 145. Love Miami to close this one out, get this win on their home floor. Not much to say about that one, really. And then when it comes to the Grizzlies and Timberwolves, this game could definitely be competitive. That series has definitely gone back and forth. However, I like a big inspired effort from Ja Morant, Desmond Bane today. I think they get the win on their home floor. I'm taking the point spread out of it, getting them on the money line in the parlay. And then the Pelicans on the alternate line. I do think that Phoenix is still live to win this game outright, but I think it's going to be a very competitive game again. But based on my simulations, the range that I am most comfortable with here is 14.5 on the alternate line, all 3 of them together, plus 145.
When you can get the plus 14.5, and I'm still getting plus 145, I'm telling you all the time, educate and entertain. There are always ways to make the numbers fit to what you want. We may not win, but this is a brilliant way to do it. Mikey, thank you very much. Now, I thought about who would go next. Would it be me? Or would it be Mikey B? Because we know today in the Maestro spot, it's Champions League. So, Mike Barner, I don't want to make you wait anymore. I feel like you've sat there with a smile on your face, patient. I appreciate that. So I'll let you go next. What do you got, big boy?
Thanks, Coach, for letting me go first. I appreciate it. Let's do I got 2 picks for today in the NBA. First, we're going to do that Pelicans-Sun games. I'm going to do Pelicans plus 6.5. This series really changed with that Booker injury. We're tied up at 2 games apiece. The one loss that the Pelicans had in New Orleans was only by 3 points. They dominated that second half of game 4, which they won by 15 points. They did win game 2 in Phoenix, so they're not going to be worried about playing there. I'm not sure that they can win this game outright. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but I'll play it safe and go with the points there for Pelicans plus 6.5. And then for my second pick, let's head on over to that Timberwolves-Grizzly games. I'm going to go Timberwolves over 28.5 points in the first quarter. I found that at minus 120 on the FanDuel Sportsbook. During the regular seasons, I played a lot of the overs on the Grizzlies' first quarter total, but they haven't been good in this series in that regards. However, the Timberwolves certainly have been. They've scored at least 32 points in the first quarter of all 4 games, and they've averaged 36.3 points in the first quarter. They like to play their starters a lot in the first quarter. They've been coming out hot. This is not the same grindhouse Grizzlies defense that you remember with Tony Allen, Zach Randolph. The Grizzlies play at a fast pace as well as the Timberwolves. So again, over 28.5 first quarter points for the Timberwolves.
When Zach Randolph was first coming into the league, I was working at MSG Network. He was playing for the Knicks. I'll never forget walking into the locker room for the first time and going, that's an NBA player? And he turned out to be a really good player, but he wasn't exactly built like an NBA player.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Zach Randolph siding on the early edge today. I am here for it. All right, I'm going to hand my take time to Martin W. Green. So my pick, very quickly, we're going right back to the well again today. Rockies, Phillies, over 8.5. Same type of situation as yesterday. We sailed over in 7 innings. We'll do the same thing again today. But I want to hear from Martin Green. And Martin, I'm going to toss it to you like this, because Dave in the chat says, where is it? He says, I'm going to wait for the lineups to come out before I bet on Man City. If you can address that and your picks, sir, I'm going to lean back and just enjoy. Floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Coach. Yeah, there is a lot of speculation about what sort of defence that Man City are going to put out today, because there's an injury doubt over the right back, Kyle Walker, who's a very integral piece in that defence. John Stones is also carrying a knock. They do have Ruben Dias and Aymeric Laporte back, so they should be fine in the centre of defence. There's an issue with Joao Cancelo at left back. Zinchenko is a very capable deputy, in my opinion, so I think they should be okay at left back, but it's just that worry about who's going to play right back. So it might be worth waiting to check the starting lineups before you bet on the goals markets within this game, because if Kyle Walker's missing at right back, they might have to play Ake at right back, and he's not particularly reliable, especially when he's going to be coming up against Vinicius Junior, the Brazilian superstar for Real Madrid. So that might be a bit of a concern in terms of Manchester City's ability to keep a clean sheet. The lineups are released 1 hour before kickoff, so you can obviously deduct an hour, and then you'll be able to see who's actually playing. So that might be a good way of approaching it. But regardless of whether they concede, I still think Manchester City should have enough quality in attack to get the job done and win this game. I do still expect Real Madrid to be very cautious and conservative. We saw them in the round of 16 where they were up against PSG, who in some ways are a quite similar team to Real Madrid because they've got a lot of quality players in attack. In that first leg, Real Madrid really defended, they really sat back, they didn't have any real notable attempts on goal. They were trying to play for a 0-0 draw basically, so they could get the second leg in Madrid and try to win that one. I think we could see a reasonably similar approach from them in this game. You can't really try to play Manchester City at their own style because they're just too good. They'll pass the ball around you. So you need to dig in. So this is going to really require Manchester City to be patient. They're going to have to continually probe this Real Madrid defence in a bid to find an opening. But they're accustomed to that because most of their Premier League rivals really sit back against Manchester City. They defend relentlessly. It's a tactic known as parking the bus. You park the bus in front of the goal and try to stop them from scoring. But they have the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, Raheem Sterling. These players, they know how to play in tight spaces. They know how to unlock tight defences. And I think they should have just about enough craft and guile to unlock the Real Madrid defence and win this game for the home team. They're the heavy favourites to do so. So you don't really want to be betting on on Man City on the money line, because that is a hell of a lot of juice to be squeezing. You can give them a -1 Asian handicap, which means if they win by a single goal, it's a push and you get your money back. If they win by 2 or more goals, you profit. Obviously, if they don't win the game, you don't win. That's the way I'm going to approach it. -1 at odds of -120. That really appeals to me. There's a chance that Man City could win this to 0. You do really have to check the starting 11 and see if Kyle Walker's playing at right back for that one. If he's not going to make it, both teams to score suddenly does look like an attractive bet. Although Pep Guardiola is probably going to have a few ideas up his sleeve to cope with the threat of Vinicius Junior. It's going to be a fascinating game. 2 great teams, lots of excellent attackers on the pitch. But I think Manchester City are going to dominate possession. I think they're going to win this game. So that's what I've gone with. I do have another non-Champions League related pick that I can give you if you like, Coach. But
let's go. Please give me. I love listening to you give picks. It's maybe my favorite thing to do. So you can do is whatever you want. Whatever you want, give it to us. Please.
All right, thank you. Well, there's not many games taking place around the world of soccer today, so I really had to dig deep into the lower echelons of the English Football League. So we have the mighty Exeter City. They play in League 2. They will be promoted today if they secure a home win against Barrow, who are another heavyweight of League Two. Now, Barrow are 21st out of 24 teams in that division. They've got nothing left to play for. So I do expect Exeter to win that game. Then I've parlayed it with a team called Wrexham, who shot to international fame a year ago when Hollywood stars Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney bought the club. So they own it now. So they come to the home games. You see Ryan Reynolds in the stand of this tiny little club. They will also be promoted. They're on the brink of promotion, but they need to beat Weymouth, who are having a terrible season. So you can parlay Exeter and Weymouth for a little 2-team parlay. While I've been talking, though, I've realised that some of the sports books out there aren't actually going to cover the Conference League. Some do, but if you can't get Wrexham, then maybe you might consider parlaying Exeter with Sheffield Wednesday, draw no bet. They should get a result against Fleetwood. So I would either go with Exeter and Wrexham, or Exeter with Sheffield Wednesday, draw no bet, for just a little sprinkle of a 2-team parlay, because I don't want to just turn up with one pick for the show. So I had to pull that one together. But yeah, that's my thoughts on today's soccer card.
Oh my God, that just warms my heart. And somewhere Buckets is saying a non-major league pick on the show. He's taking my gimmick. He's taking my gimmick, but hey, Bucket, that's all right. That's all right. Oh, I love that so much. Thank you, Guru. Thank you. By the way, because you know me, I always lean back because you guys are the greatest cappers in the world. But somebody in the chat said their favorite segment just happens to be Cash Out with the Coach. All right. I don't want to get – so I got to be laser focused. I've learned if I start to feel myself, then we lose like 5 days in a row. We cannot have that. I'm trying to chase Mikey 20 in a row. All right. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of A.B. on the ones and the twos. And this is a full show. Are you kidding me? How about Mikey's parlay? It's tasty. Heat, Grizz, Pelicans on the alternate line, plus 145. I'm here for that. Then how about the Guru? Man City on the Asian handicap, -1. We'll win by 2. No problem. It's the first leg, remember. It's gas pedal down. Then a little parlay, Exeter and Wrexham. If you can't get Wrexham, then you can go Sheffield, draw no bet. Pretty much the same number there. Then Mikey B, Pelicans plus 6.5. T-Wolves, first quarter team total over 28.5, -120. I can see a nice little 31-30 first quarter. I'd be here for that. Then Cash with the Coach today. We're going right back to the well again. Same type of scenarios, same type of pitchers. We're going over 8.5 plus money today at plus 102. Then 3 plays from SportsLine. And if you're not a SportsLine member, what are you doing? You get all my cappers, all 3 that you see on the show today. You can read all their stuff there. You can get all their picks there, and then so much more. Simulations, all of it for one very, very low price. So today, Heat -6.5, Grizzlies -6, Pelican Suns over 215.5. You can stay interested all night long. AB, show your face.
What up?
That big old fat smile that I love. Explain yourself on the 2-piece today.
Yep, a little Tuesday 2-piece here. You know what? We've been overthinking it the last couple of days on these AB3s. We're getting creative, getting cute. You know what? That doesn't work in this family. We just want to cash tickets. So we're going to keep it simple. All right? Heat -6.5. Grizzlies -6. Also, for anybody out there that's in an office today, if you get stuck in the kitchen by the weird person who talks to everybody, won't let you go, here's a quick nugget for you, okay? The Memphis Grizzlies have played 8 times on Tuesday nights this season. They have won all 8. They have covered all 8. Say that. It'll confuse the person just enough. You can walk back to your desk, be out with
Can you imagine if somebody does that? Can you imagine if somebody actually does that? Walks up, hey, man, you having a good day? The Grizzlies have played on Tuesday nights. Can you just go right into it? Just go right into it. Oh, and if you can
I'm going to go and say that to my family now, so I don't have to talk to the rest of the
Guru's going to walk in the other room. Excuse me, sweetheart. Did you know? No, sweetheart, I didn't know that. In that brilliant English accent. Oh, my God, that would be amazing. All right, that's all the damage that we can do. Don't forget, in your feed right now, the Champions League only episode that we did on Monday with the Guru, with Buckets. You still have time. There's plenty more picks there for the game today. It's on CBS and Paramount Plus, and tomorrow on CBS and Paramount Plus. Also, our NFL Mega Draft Preview in your feed right now. RJ White, Emery Hunt, Ryan Wilson for the first time on the show. All of that. Turn on those notifications. But at the end of the day, you know my favorite thing to do above all else is to say there's only one thing left to do, And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, I love them all. M Squared, the Guru, Mikey B, let's go. And the AB on the ones and the twos, always trying to get us to where we need to go. I am the coach. Tell all your friends. You want to be included. You want to be valued. You want to have fun. You want to learn right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.